Opioid overdose deaths in Wisconsin have begun to decrease for the first time in decades.
At the same time, both the state and several local governments are receiving millions in settlement funds from national lawsuits against the pharmaceutical industry. Our Ellie LaLiberte explains how a recent report could give us insight into the fight against opioids.
Opioid deaths in Wisconsin are at their lowest level in the past 4 years. And according to the Wisconsin Policy Forum, now is the time for local governments to act. Patrick Anderson is the Fitrona EMS chief.
We have a protocol and a procedure in place if we go to anyone who's even a suspected overdose.
He's seen the dangerous effects of opioids firsthand.
Leave a dose of Narcan with them.
But recently, he's had to use less of that.
So I would say probably 2 to 3 years ago, it was probably up to 7 to 10 a month. Over the last year, that's really down to 1 to 2 to 3 a month.
That's a trend that Wisconsin Policy Forum senior research associate Ari Brown says
is a really welcome sign.
In June, opioid deaths in Wisconsin fell to their lowest level since April of 2020. Brown recently released a report that shows both the downward tick and the impact of national settlements.
These settlement funds run through, or at least are being distributed through 2038. The state and 87 different local governments are going to receive roughly $780 million to tackle this issue.
So far, Wisconsin has already received more than $200 million. Although numbers are trending down as the money comes in, Brown says one does not necessarily cause the other.
But the fact that they're happening at the same time is at least interesting. And I think, is a sign to leaders in state government and in these local governments, telling them, this is the time to really tackle the problem.
Anderson says he'd like to see continued public access and education to harm reduction materials.
That's what's going to change lives. That's what's going to make a difference.
Wisconsin is receiving roughly $36 million in opioid settlement payments in fiscal year 2025. That will be distributed into actions like community-based prevention programs, public awareness campaigns, and harm reduction projects. Dane County specifically has a subcommittee that dictates how those funds are used.
All right, thank you, Ellie.